Hey! What is up, weirdos and malafolks? How you all doing on this lovely Monday afternoon? I am Doug, also known as Gooslado and Top Doug Design. Hello, Under Construction Paints. How you doing today? I am here. Oh yeah, the bearded Brady. So I had to go and drop my pupper dogs off at doggy daycare today. Switching things up a little bit here in the Top Doug Design secret lair. Yeah, that's what I'll call it. Secret lair, as it were. Since my wife is going back into the office a couple days a week now for the first time in 2 years, we had to, switch around which day we take the dogs to doggy daycare. Hey, what's up, Furyk? I am an unending source of energy and joy. Yeah, so we're taking the pups to daycare, and if I have to, wear a mask, I will, braid up the beard so I can tuck it into the mask. Because then it still properly seals, and I don't breathe on everybody. But yeah, how's everybody doing today? I'm just going to make sure I scoot things a little bit here so that I can see everything but see my messages from the lovely Kimberly there. All right, looks like I'm set up. But yeah, so last week we started in on Victoria Chambers and her doppelganger sister. One of these is a doppelganger, but I'm not telling you which. Anyways, we're going to continue on with them. So, all right. Where was I at? Okay, we're going to do... I got that. Let's go with the chestnut brown. All right. What do we got? So, Under Construction Paints. You've been fantastic. Have the day off. Nice. Yeah, I haven't seen you in here in a while. Or have I? I'm going slow. My brain is slowly going insane. I have not had a lot of sleep lately. I said, you know what? I'm done burning the candle at both ends. So I just threw the candle into the fire. Because shenanigans. Yeah. Very, very busy with work stuff. So let's bust these out. Prepping up. Finished off posting my set of casino terrain. And so I did mahogany. Yep. Time for chestnut brown. And then rust brown. All right. Hey, McBluff, how you doing? So what are you working on under construction? What have you been painting up? Military model show, local and online. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, those kind of things really intimidate me because of, well, I know it's a somewhat derogatory term sometimes, the rivet counter types, but that, when it comes to a military model show, that totally makes sense because they're being, super, super accurate there. But I've never been, that's one of the reasons I don't play any historical games, is that when it comes to a display model, I'm all about being 100% accurate. But doing it for something on the tabletop is just extreme there. Got on some Malifaux sketches and new animatic. It's fun. Oh, yeah, I'm doing good. I was actually just kicking around After Effects earlier. Working on a promotional video for work. Yeah, I just haven't had a chance to really go and paint a competition piece in a while. Last one I did was for Gen Con a couple years ago. Ended up getting a silver medal for one of my Gen Con pieces. Was really proud of. Hopefully they'll have the painting competition back at Gen Con again this year, because that would be nice to, enter a few more things into that to try to get better. While I'm not, I don't consider myself to be the greatest painter of all time when it comes to competition level stuff. Still like to, challenge myself to improve. And yeah. What I would really love, I would love, Kimberly, get on this. Get on it, Kimberly. I would love for Iron Painter to make a comeback. Because doing Iron Painter was weird. Has challenged me to grow as a painter more than anything I've ever done. And I mean that in a good way. Because of the nature of that painting competition, it really challenges you to, tell a story, try out new techniques. And because it's a multi-round competition, you would have a chance to just keep doing it. It's, basically 10 weeks, five rounds and 10 weeks of painting, plus a round of judging in between each round. And while it's a huge commitment, it really made me focus and up my game. Try out things I hadn't tried out before, and really improve as a painter. And with the nature of, the encouraging people to keep continuing after they have been eliminated, is super awesome. Like my first year, I got eliminated after the third round, I think. Of course, that was before they were doing the tiering in it. But I got eliminated in the third round, I think. But still managed to do something every single round. And was one of, I think there was maybe 5 of us. There was a small number of us who, even though we were eliminated, actually completed something every round. And so there was a raffle for a prize, and I managed to actually get something from that, which was awesome. And each year I've managed, that there was an Iron Painter, I've managed to do better. So that's cool. I've really been enjoying it. The other thing I like about it, as far as it is an endurance test. Yeah, but I love it. Because also I feel like it levels the playing field somewhat, in that there's only so much polish you can get in a 2-week time frame. Exactly. That structure and that challenge is something awesome. But yeah, having that 2-week time frame is awesome. And so with that being there, it, really pushes you to do something that not only you can do, but it limits you on what models you can paint. Because maybe you don't have the exact perfect model in stock at home, so you come up with something else. The other thing I like about it is that, unfortunately, with a lot of online painting competitions, you can't share what you're working on until after the competition. Oh, you want to see? Okay, you want to see what you can do in a 2-week time frame with resin pours. Kimberly, I'm stepping off camera for a second, but I'm still here. I'm getting the most insane resin pour known to mankind. I'm here. Wait for it. I'm still here. I'm here. I'm still here. Because I'm insane. I need to show this off. Okay, I've got to pull this out. Because we're talking resin pours. There's no excuse for not doing a resin pour in 2 weeks. Because, all right, here we go. Let's get this on camera here. I guess I have to zoom out my camera a little bit. Yes, I did this in 2 weeks. And the other thing with that is it is a, yeah, this thing's hefty. It's like a brick. I love it. This is one of my favorite pieces I've ever painted. But I did that in 2 weeks. And with those resin pours, that is where, you know what? Math is important. Because, quite frankly, I messed up my math on that one and estimated the amount of resin I needed. Oh, seriously, math is hard. All right. So I messed up the amount of math I needed, and I think I mixed up the conversion between ounces and milliliters. And totally underestimated the amount of resin that I needed. But by the point when I had realized that, I was too deep in. And yes, math is hard. Honestly, I don't think I've ever actually played a game of Malifaux where at some point during the game I did not utter the phrase, math is hard. Like, let's be honest. I mean, the game you and I played, Ferric, I'm fairly certain we both said math is hard at some point in that. Because math is hard. Exactly. Well, we had to make sure we could count to 8. God, honestly, and I was talking about that game just the other day. I was helping a new player learn how to play Zoraida. And so the game with you was really my biggest learning of how to play with Zoraida. And God, that was honestly one of the most fun games I've ever played. God, that game was a blast. Yes, we may have ended in an 8-8 tie. And that sounds like neither of us were, doing anything to stop each other. But it wasn't that we weren't trying. We just kept failing at it. And it was ridiculous and delightful. Of course, your list is going to have to get changed a little bit now with those, with the way the Bokor got hit. Not having well, those were a strong model. And having a minion that can do obeys like, or no, those are an enforcer. But having a model that can do obeys like that is oof. Yeah, overall, I'm really remember that Mardi Gras is next week. Oh my God, a Malifaux parade or a Mardi Gras Malifaux parade? Actually, there is a story. Oh, haha, beat me to it, Fieric. There is a story about Molly putting on a parade. Oh God. So if you go back and look through one of the through the photos I posted for Las Vegas Open, the crew that won Best Painted was a Molly crew, and they were themed around Wizard of Oz. So they got the full yellow brick road, and Archie's carrying a bundle of flowers. It was gorgeous. It was done by one of the Canadians who came to LVO. I think it was Jules Egger, who did that. That would be fun. But here's a question: who's playing the tuba? Because I don't think. Oh, Necrotic Machine playing the tuba? Okay, I could see that. Because I would love to see. Oh, bands with. Ooh, Battle of the Bands, the Crossroads Sevens. That would be delightful. That would literally be a Battle of the Bands. Philip Tumor's playing the triangle. Yes, I am here for that. Sign me up. Trombonist, yeah. You know, obviously, Archie needs to be playing multiple instruments. I think he should have a piccolo and a bass drum. Hey, what is up, Haunted? How you doing, my man? So glad I was able to catch you on your stream last night. Ooh, That it does. Now I'm gonna say this as far as flesh constructs go. I do prefer the second edition flesh constructs to the new third edition flesh constructs. The problem with the chunky barfy boys, and this comes to me. This is me being a little pedantic as a sculptor myself. Is that they don't have a good sense of anatomy on them because I'm not sure where the body parts are coming from. And that's me being picky and pedantic with the sculpts. That the old ones, you could tell, they look like a stitched together monstrosity made out of human body parts. The Well, he has to have at least some sense of anatomy. Because here's the thing: he was a doctor before he became a necromancer. He didn't become He didn't become a doctor because he was a necromancer. He became a necromancer because he was around the dead bodies all the time. Now, that is nowhere specifically referenced in the lore. But if you think about it time wise, the amount of time it takes, the age of Dr. McWarning plus the amount of time it takes to become a doctor, even back then, he would have been a doctor before the breach reopened. Nice one. But yeah, so he has at least, he. The other thing is he also has a very good sense. If you take a look at like his abilities, his being very precise with a scalpel implies a very good knowledge of anatomy. In fact, if you think about it, of the resers, the main resers that we know, and I'm going to include Nicodem in this because even though he's dead now, he is a reser of note. Of the resurrectionists that we know, Dr. Douglas McMorning has the best knowledge of anatomy. And if you look at what goes with him, yeah, I'm just going with where we are in the story right now. And if you take a look at how the other resers work, most of them resurrect them as they find them and have to deal with the limitations of the state in which they were dead. McMorning, however, is the one who modifies and augments them. He reses them as he finds them and dresses them up. And when they fall apart, he just flushes them, which is why Seamus is such a jerk. Which now, I've heard the discussion, that when I'm trying to get new players to start playing, there's always the discussion of, oh, who's the good guys? Yeah, they just don't. They don't do it for me. I like the old sculpts for the old flesh constructs. They're just, they evoke Frankenstein's monster to me, which is very much what they are. I don't like the new ones as much, and that's just personal preference. All right, let's go with. I'm gonna do their genes a little bit here. But yeah, when I'm saying that, when you talk about the who are the good guys and bad guys of Malifaux, and that conversation came up recently. And there's the joke that there's not really any. There's definitely bad guys, but the good guys are very, very questionable. Ironically enough, I think the least bad guy is Molly. Because I think, in my opinion, the definition of what makes a bad guy is, now, she definitely does actions that may not be considered good, but the malice and intent matters as to whether someone is a bad guy or not. Okay, but here's the thing. Zoraida made sure people came back, reopened the breach to make sure that people came back. Because they needed people to help stop the tyrants. Well, I think this comes down to the question of what makes a bad guy a bad guy. And I'm of the opinion that malice of intent is what makes a bad guy a bad guy. So that's something they like. Yeah, but he's a serial killer. I mean, we can all agree that Seamus is analogous to Jack the Ripper. Camera, cool. Now, also, we should take everything I say with a grain of salt because I've been informed by my wife on numerous occasions that she's fairly certain that if I ever got superpowers, I would become a supervillain. Not out of malice, but out of because I think I know better or something. Mine is an evil laugh. And so now I don't think I'd become a villain out of malice, but definitely on accident. Just because, people don't like being told that, I know better than them. See, it's not malice. It's just, yeah. I think I overthinned this a little bit. There we go. Chimichanga of chicanery. Oh, don't forget about the enchilada of evil. Ooh, okay, got to come up with a good one. The tamales of terror. Oh no, we already had terror. The tamales of travesty. The tamales of travesty. Ooh, the chicharrones of challenge. Torta of tyranny. Yes. It actually kind of works. The best torta I ever had was up in Chicago, actually. I have no clue where it was from. Some of the kitchen staff at one of the restaurants I worked at, they would go and on Sundays they would pick up, they would grab some food for the whole staff from a restaurant that like their cousin ran or something. I had this torta el rey, which was the best torta I've ever had. It had all kinds of awesomeness on there, and had also had some chicharrones on there, and so it was just really, really good. Oh yeah, tortas are some of my favorites. Oh, the sopapillas of sadness. Oh, but how can you be sad when eating a sopapilla? Ooh, the churros of change. The chicharrones of chagrin. The agua fresca of aggression. Carnitas of carnage. Oh my gosh, I would eat that. I love carnitas. Oh, and oh, thank you so much for that. Oh, thank you so much for that. Barbacoa of blasphemy. Now that is classic. I know, right? And I wasn't even the one who started it. How did this even begin? I blame Feerick. I'm like, how did this even start? I don't even know. Oh, yeah, villainy burrito. Fair enough. It really does. But to be fair, I also am one of the streamers who always, I always have a snack here. Keep the blood sugar up. I got my big old jug of iced tea, and I got, I got a bunch of M&Ms. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, and those are the rare and elusive coffee nut M&Ms. Which, if you can find the coffee nut M&Ms, they are amazing. And by that, I mean, I've searched the grocery stores for a couple of years for this. Because my wife bought, a bag of them a while back and was going to share them with me. And by share them with me, I got like 3 of them because you just ate them all. So for her birthday this year, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm going to get her some coffee nut M&Ms. And I figured out if I can't find them at the store, I'll go to the internet. And lo and behold, yeah, I was able to find them on the internet. Super easy. Like, why didn't I do this before? But the thing was, I could either order, like 2 bags for a stupidly high price for just 2 bags of M&Ms, or, and we're talking the big sharing size ones. They're like, big. Okay, maybe like that. But the sharing size M&Ms. And it was either, get 2 for far more than I wanted to pay for 2 bags of M&Ms, or get 8 of them for maybe about $10 more. And the 2 bags were not guaranteed to show up in time for my wife's birthday, but the 8 bags were. So, short story long, I ended up getting 8 bags, 8 sharing size bags of coffee nut M&Ms for my wife for her birthday. Mike and Ike Italian Ice. Ooh. That sounds delightful. Also, I have no idea what Jolly Joes are. Grape flavor. Oh, that sounds awesome. All right, you know what? I apologize. I apologize in advance here. Play weird. I'm about to get controversial, like very controversial here. What is everyone's feelings on black licorice? And why are you wrong that you don't love it? Because black licorice is delicious, and if you don't like it, you're wrong. I said it. Black licorice is amazing. I know. Very controversial. Standing up for the important topics here. If we get, if I get cut off, it's because they're, trying to keep me down with my love of the black licorice. Because I love black licorice. So, what are all yours? Everyone else's feelings on black licorice? I knew you were a man of quality and taste. Oh well, you're okay with it, but not a big fan. Your cat likes black licorice. Oh, I love black licorice. I've loved it since I was a kid. Black jelly beans were my favorite growing up. And then my dad was sad because he could no longer just take all the black jelly beans because then he had to share. And he used to just eat all the black jelly beans before I came along. Alrighty, so I was prepping up some colors for the Hey, what's up, Chef Hunter? To do some blending on the cloak here. Yeah, doing good. Just, working on the Victorias. All right. That's a little too bright. Okay, apparently I hadn't gotten that bright yet. There we go. Kind of doing a little wet blending on the cloak here. Okay, should probably grab a little bit of room oxide there. There we go. Yep. And when I'm painting the cloak like this is definitely when I lick my brush the most. Because it's keeping it, wet, and sometimes adding in that little bit of extra moisture to it there. And keeping the surface wet to enable blending of the colors up and down, back and forth. I'm trying to get that smooth transition. Sometimes then I just need to go in there and literally lick the paint off the model. I know it's a terrible habit, but you know what? That's how I learned. Also, I'm just gonna say this right now: the muddy brown up to leather brown from Reaper doesn't taste very good. Is not my favorite paint to eat. Eh, the end results justifies the means. It's not, even if this is not a very tasty thing. But you know what? I suppose that it's because I was talking about food while I'm painting. So I've heard that I should really learn how to do paint minis with oils, because apparently you can really do wet on wet blending with oils in minis. But I find them intimidating. Hey, welcome back again, McBluff. Well, I meant the doing the oil paintings with minis, because I mean you're using a very small amount. Like, have you seen the stuff that James Wapple has been doing lately? Like, he has gone full on. He only paints mini. He used to be like a Reaper guy, but he only does things with oils now. Oh yeah, no. I know that doing the oils. You do not lick those. That is a great way to poison yourself. But honestly, it really helps for feathering in with the acrylics here. I know. Oh, the have you seen the stuff that James Wapple has been doing lately, Haunted? Because he switched over to oils almost exclusively for doing minis. Super nice dude, too. Oh, well, you don't end up using all that many of them when you're like a tube will last you for a long time. I mean, then again, getting all of the acrylics that we use. I know that when I'm teaching new people to paint, they often balk at how many, different paints there are. It's like, yeah, but you know what? Oh, yeah. Yeah, but you need fewer colors when it comes to the. My understanding is that when it comes to the oils, you don't really need nearly as many colors because they blend back and forth a lot. What I'm doing here with the back and forth blending on a lot of this apparently is crazy easy to do with oils. Now, I've never used them. I've just been like, oh, I've heard things that I think I would probably like them. Yeah, I've never even done like an oil wash. Yeah, that I'm not sure that was English. Was maybe English adjacent. To quote one of my favorite shows, I recognize all of the words you used, just not in the order in which you used them. really pushing the con. So her cloak is going to take a lot longer than her sister's cloak because she's just got this beautiful big flowy cloak here. And it just screams for, trying to do some nice buttery blends on it there. I'm trying to turn my cottage cheese blends into butter blends. And when I do blends like this, I use my big brush. Because the thing is, it can still get down to a razor point. Then I can kind of drag it and flatten it out a little bit, and it gets it not, hits more area, lets me wash it around a little bit. And yeah, I've heard they're cheap to do, but it's always one of those things. Is like, I don't use a lot of washes in general anymore. Do more of the glazing and start with the shadows in there. Paints I'm excited to give a go. If you heard about the Army Painter's speed paints, so yeah, Goobertown Hobbies did a really good review on them a week or two ago, and it has me intrigued because I never really got on board with the GW with the Citadel contrasts because it just seemed inconsistent and way too expensive. But from what I've seen with the speed paints, they've got a good consistent pigment density across the line, and that they are at a much lower price than the Citadel contrasts. So it strikes me as something worth trying. Yeah, Goobertown Hobbies posted a nice review video on them, and he went in depth with them. So it's, worth checking out. Like Secret Weapon was at not Secret Weapon, sorry, Army Painter was at LVO sampling them out, but I did not have a spare moment to go try them. Well, the dude, he's a chemist by trade. Like the whole, hobby and making videos thing is, a side thing he does. I think I saw a thing about those recently. Probably, I'm not really a big fan of terrain tiles personally. Yeah, so when I do a Malifaux, I usually use a gaming mat most of the time. So I use I've got yeah, okay, at this point I've got a crazy number of mats by Mars. I think I've got 12 third edition mats by Mars mats. And at least two or three second edition mats too. Yeah, I actually just finished up kind of doing a bit of a semi-collaborative project with Mats by Mars. I made a set of casino terrain that matches their casino board. which if you check out my socials, I've got links to that in there. But yeah, I'll have to check them out at some point. But yeah, I did very excited. Finally posted a bunch of my the casino terrain last night. Late last night. Since I run all the events at Las Vegas Open, and it takes place in a casino, I was very sad that hey, there's no casino terrain out there. So I made some. Yeah, I haven't really seen much of that. Have a swig. Let's keep hydrated. Mm-mm-mm. So sometime this week, I need to settle in and figure out what exact. So I'm teaching a painting class this Saturday. My local game store is doing a grand reopening. So they basically moved into a beautiful, beautiful new space, 3 doors down from where they are right now. And they are so basically they're going from about a 4,000 square foot store to a 10,000 square foot 10,000 plus square foot store. So it's super exciting, and I will be teaching some painting class a painting class there at their grand reopening this Saturday. Should be really fun. Because apparently all the slots for it sold out in like 2 days, which kind of is intimidating to me because I'm like, oh crap, they got expectations. But I've never sat down and done a formal paint. Yeah, it's super awesome. I'm excited. Excited for the new store space. I'm excited that people in the community are like, hey, I'm gonna come take a painting class taught by Doug, which is slightly intimidating because I've taught people to paint before, just one on one, or maybe one on a small group when I when I ran a GW store. But I've not done a full class yet. But then I was thinking to myself, well, I kind of when I'm doing this here, when I'm actually not just talking about food or whatever and talking about the techniques I'm using, I do kind of teach here a little bit. So it's kind of this is kind of like teaching painting. I mean, heck, I'm going to be bringing my streaming setup with me so that I can project my what I'm painting on a screen overhead so that everyone in the class can see me without worrying too much. Or crowding around. So I'm excited. Other super exciting thing with it is that basically I will be able to have enough table space there to run a full GT inside the shop. Believe they're going to have 14 miniatures tables. Plus, then they've also got all of their so it's 14 miniatures tables, which 5 of those don't have a lip on the edge, so we can actually push those together. So I can turn those 5 tables into room for like between 7 and 9 play spaces there, basically. So 9 on there. Plus then the 9 other tables, so that's 18. Oh, no, sorry. 8 plus 9, so I got 17 tables there. It's 34. So I've got basically room for 34 players without even using the tables they normally use for card games. So basically, I'm going to need to get a GT running here in Houston. And I expect you all to come to it. Because, I mean, I travel, I think I drove like 22 hours to run the events at Las Vegas Open. Be nice to be able to, run something like that without having to, drive 20 hours. So, yes, everyone keep your eyes peeled on a weird place. I'll be posting photos of the awesome game store and making you all jealous and want to come play in Houston. Just get some miniatures and books. Special needs. Oh yeah. Where are you located? Because most of the times, a lot of I know Dragon's Lair around here has done stuff to help out, kids groups and done a lot for the community. Oh, that's awful. That's just awful. Not the living in UK, but it being stolen. I love the UK. Stealing from kids. That's awful. So sorry to hear that. Oh, really? Oh, that's so. Hey, Viruk. How was your weekend, Viruk? Sounds like you had a veritable playable museum there. Oh man, I hope you're doing all right, Virek. Yeah, I ended up doing work all weekend. There we go. I'm really liking those cloaks. Oh man. All right, I was gonna stretch for a second here. Ooh. All right. I think it's time to go up on the other leather bits there. Oof. Here's the thing with that too. It's a group of kids. Doesn't matter how much it's worth monetarily. It's invaluable to the kids who were going to use that. Hope you and your family's doing all right there, Rick. Though. Yeah, seriously, that is just scummy, Chav Hunter. That is wow. Oh yeah, glad you like it. I gotta go in it. I haven't gotten to highlighting that yet. There, kind of doing the. Spent a long time on the cloak there to really get that, because the cloak is really a focal point on here. That I really needed to get those blends on there. Oh and yeah, it's not on camera, so I've got. Let's make sure it's on there. So I've got one with purple hair, one with pink hair, because then I can go, hey, purple hair Vic is the leader Vic this time. Because that's what I've always run into with when I play the Vics in third edition is the which one's the leader? Since they're both masters. Oh, that sucks, Chav Hunter. Yeah, it's kind of what I feel like. Is that getting the that pink hair there? Also, I mean, because with this crew, because they're outcast. Mercenaries are outlawed by the new governor general. So I'm really setting them out, and the basing scheme I'm doing with them is very much a Badlands basing scheme. So needs to be very it's very earth tones across the board. Going with earth tones and then pops of color. Yeah, I really am enjoying. This is going to be a fun keyword to paint up. And the goal, I've mentioned this goal before. By the end of the year, I want to have at least one playable crew from every single faction. That way, when I'm teaching new players to play, they can pick, whatever faction they want. I mean, usually I already do that, and they will just end up proxying something if I don't actually have the models. Because, hooray for the app! The app is the biggest boon to new players ever. Also, it's a big boon to people like me who are like, ooh, I want to try this thing. But it's not out yet. Yep, that is my goal. I figure one playable crew from every single faction is not that much to ask. I mean, they've already got playable crews from, Arcanists and Neverborn. Also Explorer Society. So 3 out of 8 ain't bad. Now we did establish earlier that math is hard, but this is easy math. I'm like, yes, over the course of the year, I can definitely get that many done. Oh, that'd be really cool. Yeah. I think last free RPG day I ran Malifaux demos at my local shop. They really like me at that shop. And I really like that shop myself. Oh, seriously, you have no idea. Over there, that's full of minis. And you can't see it on the camera, but I got 2 full cabinets back over there. I have a problem. Now, Free RPG Day, I feel like that's it's in April sometime. April or March, right? Yeah, the problem is it doesn't always stay in here. I've got a loft outside my office here is our upstairs loft, and in the lead up to LVO, my terrain was definitely carrying over out into our loft there. So I need to get it organized to keep the wife from being mad at me. I have the best wife in the world. She puts up with my shenanigans. I've always been more of a minis guy than an RPG guy. But I would love to get another D&D game going. Had one going earlier on, and then just kind of, people got busy, and unfortunately, everyone's schedule has not been able to line up to keep it going. June 25th. Now we know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe! Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, most of the time I usually end up running Malifaux demos during free RPG day at my local shop. Usually it's a good way to we get a recruiter too. Another's free, I can't remember when free comic book day is. And there's also there's like the free board game day or the international tabletop day or something like that, right? Because I've been to a few of those. So my local shop used to do a thing where they would give a board game away. What they called it table flip. Or what you would do is you would show up and you would play depending on the number of people who came, they would play a certain number of board games. Just grab them brand new off the shelves. And everyone would pay a certain amount to cover the cost of the board games. And so then the store wasn't, taking a huge hit on the game. Because remember, most small game store, most FLGSs operate on pretty narrow margins. But anyway, so they would open up a new game. Everyone would play it. And then at the end of the night, everyone who played would raffle it off. Well, they'd raffle it off to everyone who played. And so that was really cool. One keyword perfection. Yeah, I mean, I've already got, already covered, several in Neverborn and several in Arcanist. So I'm good for those. And I've got Apex for Explorer Society. Alrighty, I believe it is time to do a little bit of skin tones here. All right, tan shadow, skin. Okay, cool. Is that one gigabytes? Yeah, I would say of the Explorer Society's crews that I have experience with, Apex is one of the more beginner-friendly ones. It's clogged. Because it's, a lot more of the, hey, I shoot and kill things. And that tends to get the mechanics down for players pretty well. Doing one of the really, really kind of tricksy crews ends up being not great for a lot of players because usually it requires a good functional knowledge of the rules as whole to know what they do. So I feel like EVS and Nexus are not great beginner crews. Frontier might be a decent beginner crew. So Frontier and Apex, decent beginner crews. DUA, probably not as much. Who else is in there? Wastrel, maybe. But of the Explorer Society crews that I have experience with, I feel like Apex is the most beginner friendly to play as and to play against, honestly. It's a fun crew to paint up too. Have you painted your Rex? I feel like I've seen your painted Rex. Yeah, and part of it is when it comes to learning the early game, the mechanics comes mostly to from duels and learning how to do duels and interact with each other. By not actually interaction actions, but opposed duels, etc. That is where most of the mechanics of the game lies. And then the tactics really come in with the schemy stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, Spence. Oh my gosh. You know who else you can hire with the Fae? You can bring Marcus too. So you hire Titania as your leader, and then you bring Marcus as a second leader, and then he mutates the Malosaurus, and it's stupid fun. Wait, how have you never heard that I did that, Haunted? I was literally talking about that for like a month and a half leading up to Gen Con. I was making sure everyone knew going into Gen Con, this is what I am bringing. And here's the thing with it, it's strong, but ultimately It is not the. Oh yeah, that was a while ago. It is a strong crew, but it's severely lacking in AP. Ooh, you're welcome. Hey, play weird. See that? I sold something for y'all there. I'm paying for myself now. Woohoo! This is working out here. Look at me. Selling Malisaurus left and right. Hell, and even if you can't use it in game, it's a cool model and it's tons of fun too. I had a blast painting it. Yeah, you know what? I love it. I love that, they left a way in the game for me to make a mutated dinosaur. I actually call that so the crew list for that, I call it life uh finds a way. Because, I was so busy asking myself if I could, I never asked myself if I should. Because quite frankly, it wasn't a super effective crew. I managed to tie every single game at Gen Con. Actually, if you were here earlier, when I don't think Firek is still in the chat right now. If he is, he's just been quiet for a little while. But yeah, I don't know if Firek is. I don't think Firek is still in the chat. But so one of those games was against Firek. And it was literally one of the most fun games I've played in my life. I don't like Zombicide. I'm not big on co-op games. Like it is the rare co-op game that I actually really enjoy. Turns out Vagrant's. Nah, I don't like it. So Zombicide is co-op, and I didn't even look at the. I didn't even look at it. Honestly, I don't really like to back anything from Cool Mini or not. Well, they've put out some really great games, but they've also put out some really bad games. And in my opinion, this is my opinion here. No one, this does not represent the opinion of Weird or any. They on average, they put out a mediocre game. They put out some really great games. They put out some games that are not great. They market based entirely off of FOMO. And the way they run a Kickstarter skews the expectations of what to expect from a Kickstarter for everyone else who uses Kickstarter. So that is why I'm not big on the cool mini or not. Well, the thing is, and I say that as someone who has I've created Kickstarters. I'm in the process of making one now. It skews the expectations of the consumer. Yeah, and so that really skew. And so if you don't have a million and one, crazy stretch goals, you suddenly people's like, oh well, where's the stretch goals? Where's the stretch goals? Now, unless I'm mistaken, didn't Simon get bought out by Asmodee? I could be wrong on that one, but I feel like Simon might be a subsidiary of Asmodee now. And a company, and if they are a subsidiary of Asmodee, a company the size of Asmodee shouldn't be putting things on Kickstarter, in my opinion. Once again, need to remind you that is the opinion of this guy, not anyone official here. But yeah, like I'm not spending $800 on a single game. I say, and then spend far more than that on minis for one game. But that's different. Yeah, and so I'm not a big fan. So if something is available on Kickstarter. I hate it when it's a full-on exclusive. All right, so let's go. Tanned highlight now. I mean, yeah, and that's my opinion on it there. And if you enjoy Zombicide and all the other stuff there, play it. Play what you like, play what you love. It just, I know too many people who've had just, bought, all in on some of these huge, huge games. And then, played it once. Let's grab a swig. Let's hydrate. And emanate. And by emanate, I mean I was eating an M&M. That is exactly the game I was thinking of, Haunted. Being that a good friend of mine did that as well. And the other thing with that is then a lot of times then, game stores will try to get it. And then it just never moves off their shelves. Because anyone who actually wanted it back to Kickstarter. Hey Honda, do you know is Cool Mini or not? Is that are they an Asmodee subsidiary at this point? Because I could swear I heard somewhere that Simon got bought out by Asmodee. So let's be honest, damn near everyone's owned by Asmodee at this point. Because I know Fantasy Flight is Asmodee now. And see, Atomic Mass Games is Asmodee now as well. Oh, the are you saying Simon did or Atomic Mass did? Okay, yeah, no, no, I was just making sure, keeping the. Because let's be honest, at this point, uh, Asmodee is the Disney of board games. I mean that. So here's the thing: Disney has the resources to do some really, really cool things, but also they're able to get away with some things that other companies just can't do. That's me being all, cranky and grizzled gamer man. Like, I remember back in the day. Just working on the skin tones here now. We're getting pretty close on these. Skin tones, sharpen up the middle a little bit. And the hair. as I put my big fat noggin right in my camera. Sorry about that. Right, put your fingertips. Let's get your fingertips. So, Hanji, what are you painting up on stream this week? Oh, Rooster Riders, nice. All right. Really? We can buy followers? Oh, goodness. Oh, no, but how will I ever be famous? Haunted? I just saw my dreams disappear in front of my eyes. I'm full of sadness now. Oop, and then, oops. Watch your language under construction. I have no idea what naughty language you used, but got to keep it family friendly here on the Play Weird stream, I guess. I make sure I wash myself here. Not as much on my own stream, but yeah, well. Don't worry, we got rid of this spammer. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that I'm famous to you. I'm internet famous to like a few people. Actually, we got solid viewer numbers today. I'm really happy with the numbers we've got today. It's More than I've seen in a little while. That makes me happy. Always good when we see viewership ticking up. That is the goal. We're trying to, build a community here. I'm already famous. Oh, so does it already tag? Does it flag the word famous? Because that's amusing. Because that would be oh my god, that's hilarious. I thought you like legitimate like I'm effing famous, but that's just funny then to me. Well, I know from now on not to say the word famous in the stream because apparently it's a naughty word. Oh no, I said famous again. Oh, I said it. I'm being shenanigansy. I'm being silly. But to be fair, that does make that is a solid word to filter for. Because the spammers always use that word. Would you like to be famous? I'll be internet fabulous instead. I am totally internet fabulous. And you'll find this amusing. So for Christmas, my wife actually got me a mug from Effin Birds that says, "I'm a goddamn delight," and that just made my day. Funny thing is, I also. Hey, welcome back to McBluff. Funny thing is, I also got my wife a mug for Christmas, and that one it was a one of those like insulated wine tumblers, and it said "water until proven otherwise." I know, right? Well, the funny thing is that she told me stories that when she was growing up, her parents used to drink wine out of coffee mugs when they were on the couch, family watching something together. And she didn't know until she was an adult that they were drinking wine out of it. She just thought they were drinking, like tea or something. And her parents thought that they totally knew that they were drinking wine out of it. And so we joke that, if you drink wine, you got to drink it out of a mug. no, that's too much of a pink. What do I want to use? That one. So I did Valley Girl pink for that. I'm going to use that. Okay, I actually got to use. So I'll use that for the hair. I still got to do the rest of your skin. Yeah, fair enough. But it became kind of a joke for us. Because as I've said before, I have the most awesome wife in the world. And here's the even better thing. I'm not just saying that because she's watching or anything, because I don't think she's watching. She's doing work usually when I'm streaming. So I'm saying that completely unprompted. What was that? Have a picture in the fridge that said hospitality picture. That's awesome. I mean, that's just how you be hospitable to people, man. See, the only jugs in my fridge right now hold iced tea or milk. Young Doug would be so disappointed in me. Ooh, I do enjoy hot chocolate. Oh, here we go. Time for another controversial food opinion. Oh, yes. That's why you come here, for my divisive food opinions. Earlier, we were talking about the pros and cons of black licorice. I'm firmly pro black licorice. I don't like sweet tea. I live in the South, and I think sweet tea is disgusting. I like iced tea. I'm not a fan of sweet tea. Now, if you hear sirens, that's just the Texas State Troopers coming to take me away. I mean, I love my iced tea here. Well, now McBluff, I know you live in Louisiana, but are you from Louisiana, or you just happen to live there? Because I live in Texas, but I'm not from Texas. I'm from Michigan. It was an important distinction. Like I say, I live in Texas, but many people would refer to me as Texan then, except pretty much anyone who is from here. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure because, I figured if you're, from Louisiana, you'd have sweet tea at some point. All right. Liking these ladies here. They're looking nice. Well then. Let's that's the funny thing. I just bought the. I realized I didn't actually have the box with the Student of Conflict in it. I literally just bought that at the game store on Thursday because I'm like, well, I'm painting up the mercenary keyword, and the Student of Conflict used to come in the Viktorias box, but it doesn't anymore. So I didn't actually have it. And the titled Vix, the double, where they're doubled up on a base again, they can bring the Student of Conflict as their totem then. So I figured I needed to get her. So when the time comes that I'm actually painting up I'll make sure that that when it comes time for me to paint up the Student of Conflict. To be fair, there are a whole bunch of murderous children in Malifaux. Candy, Baby Cade, the Changelings, the Malifaux Child, Iggy, Krooligans. Who else is creepy murder child? There's like seriously a lot of murder children in Malifaux, man. Oh, the new titled Nexus, which to be fair, of all of the creepy children in Malifaux, the Dreamer. But I'm going to say this: of all of the creepy children in Malifaux, and let's be honest, there's a lot of creepy children in Malifaux. The Nexus, one of many. Those are seriously the most creepy. I think Anya is very young, but I wouldn't call her a creepy child. She's definitely a creepy young adult. Or, okay, maybe not creepy. She's not really creepy. She's a murderous young adult. I don't know, man. I'm fairly certain, anything you get from Nexus, you got to, be very, very suspicious of. Is this, what is this gift? Oh, it's not parasites. Oh, what is it? It's parasites. Because Nexus. I mean, to be fair, Nexus does have access to all of the things. So she's probably got a good hookup on, some top shelf booze, some nice Soulstone gin. But at what cost? Oh, like doing a camouflage pattern? I have not. I don't want to lose my models on the table. Yeah, I could imagine that being wildly tedious and ridiculous. I've seen a few methods for it, but I've never put any of them into none of my painting projects have ever ran that direction. Oh, and you think I'm beautiful. Thank you. Hey, thanks for watching, Viruk. What are you painting up this week, man? Oh, that'll be speaking of creepy, people. That'll be fun. I look forward to that. That model looks so cool. He's creepy, but he's dapper. Have a good one, Virek. All right, I believe it is time to get that pink hair. So I did Valley Girl pink before. Time for Monkey Ball Pink. Cuttlefish colors. I'm excited for this one. Ooh, gotta give that a good shake. At this point, it is really trying not to. It's got some really good looking stuff here. I should get my smaller brush. Oh, that'd be fun. But somehow I think Kimberly would get mad at me. And I do not want to get Kimberly mad at me. I like having a happy Kimberly. And I do what I can to make sure she stays that way. Yes, someone needs to make sure that Waldo stays fed, because otherwise shenanigans happens. But not the fun kind. Like, I do fun shenanigans. Waldo shenanigans. Those are bad things happen when Waldo shenanigans get out and about. We also need to make sure we keep Play Weird fed, because apparently I talk about the food too much. Ooh, I do love cheese. Oh, fun thing. Over the weekend, I actually went to a cheese shop that my wife just found around here. Got some very tasty, fancy cheeses. Because I am a fancy lad. Oh yes, I got. I don't remember what all they were. We ended up eating most of them. I've still got a little bit of my fancy blue cheese. All right, so now we do seem to. Ooh, okay. Try new to Yuchi. Ooh, manchego. Do enjoy a good manchego. Well, good news for you, Play Weird. Your day is almost done. You've only got about 10 minutes of my stream left here. Oh yeah, so Play Weird so kindly just shared my socials there. Actually, going to be pretty active on those the next couple of days. I've got some just released a big terrain project that my casino terrain just released that and some photos of that last night. And I've got a big project coming up that I'm launching on Thursday. So like and follow and do all those things on the socials there. This is a really nice pink. All right, I need to go one more higher. Oh, time for bubblegum pink. Yeah, these are the cuttlefish colors from Cephalopod Studios. Another paint streamer, a really cool guy, and actually hooked us up with a bunch of prize support for LVO. Why? Oh, I shook the power cable out of it there. So yeah, next week I will probably be. These are not quite finished off. So I'll probably be doing the last tiny details on them, unless I finish up here in the next couple minutes. And then starting in on the Ronin. Oh, now that's a fun pink. I like these pinks a lot. It's hard to find a good pink. I've been meaning to, and so I got the some of the cuttlefish colors to try out their pinks and stuff because I couldn't find a good pink in the Reapers or the Citadel colors. Gotta say, I am sold on the cuttlefish pinks. That's pretty awesome. This is the first project I've been able to try them out on. So Play Weird, who is painting tomorrow and what are they painting? Tomorrow is Viruk. Okay. I lose track of who's which day. I am the worst. Well, that is very exciting. I will have to make sure I tune in for that. All right, now look at that. I like that hair. Just need a little bit more pink. Oh, I look forward to seeing that. I always enjoy any of the animations you do there. All righty. Well, we've got the two Vicks here. We got, we're down to my last minute here. And so they are very, very close to done. Really, I just got to go and do the brightest highlighting on the metals there. And do the purple hair here. And yeah, then base them up and they're good. Oh yeah, I was saying, McBluff, I love all the animations that I've seen that you make. They always just makes me happy because they always turn out really, really well. And as animator myself, I love it. Makes me happy. So yeah, next week I will be finalizing my Viktorias here, and then moving on to the Ronin. So thank you all for tuning in, and stay weird, everyone. Have a great night.